never find anything. This is my NT30 boring head. NT30 is the name of the taper. Same as a lot of other milling machines. Some have a bigger size. You'll see a lot of people that have the, I think it's the NT40, which is the bigger size. And this one is graduated in millimeters here. You can see it's 0.1 millimeters per mark on my little dial there. Spin this one and this head moves that way and this way. And that's a little high-speed steel boring bar that I've ground up. Just ground some clearance from the point back down here. That one goes in whichever hole you choose. I think I made that bush so I could fit the size high-speed steel that I had. Not particularly complicated, but you can make a lot of different size holes with this attachment. The grub screw goes straight through that hole. That way it clamps the tool and holds the bush in place all at once. You just got to line that hole up. Now this one here adjusts it. Comes with a whole set of Allen keys. And these three there, they lock this little slide in place. So I'll be moving my point towards the edge. The centre of the spindle should still be over that hole because I haven't moved the cross slide. Just drop my Allen key. Should take a nice cut now. We'll clean up there. What have I forgotten to lock? Might just clamp that one up. That's the one holding the tool in place, and lock up these ones that stop the slide from moving. Don't need to clamp the shit out of them. Should give a reasonably good finish. That's the part that's got to fit in there. We'll just see what size we've got so far. We've got about 5 mil to come off it, 5.5. Barely no play there, so we'll call that done. That actually might be a smidge under 19. Yeah, it's a couple of thou under 19, so that's perfect. I'll just get set up for the next job, or the next process I should say. Alright, that hole came out pretty good, right the size I wanted it. Next we're going to be cutting a slot down through here. Nothing fancy, it's only a clearance size. It's about 10mm deep by about 25mm wide. You can just see my scribe mark still there. If I get the light the right angle. Nothing fancy, we're just going to chew through there with an end mill. Good. Tap a tap, as they say in the classics. Got it. My ER32 collet chuck actually has an ISO taper on it instead of a NT30. They're basically the same shape here, but there's the 12mm thread on the end here is smaller. So what I had to do is make an extension with a 12mm thread in there, and then make a spacer for the back of my drawbar. That allows my drawbar to come down into about there and tighten up at the top. Bit of a rigmarole, so don't let anyone tell you that the ISO tapers are the same as the NT tapers, because they're not. I think I actually had to mill the tabs in the side there as well, and this stuff was quite hard. I had to buy a tungsten end mill just for the purpose. But life's a challenge really, isn't it? So that's 5/8 and that's 16mm. One of the tricks with these, if you haven't seen them before, is you click your collet into here first, and then you can assemble it. If you try and do it the other way around, put your end mill in there first, you can't get them in. Now we'll hold that one there, and this one with this one. Tighten them up. Like that one. Zero there, because we're going about 10mm. A line on one side. Nice. do need is this circle here, or that round diameter, needs to be clear of the sides of that. And it's not quite, so let's go a little more. Like. That's it for that operation. I'll just go and deburr that. Okay, the last operation is to put a M6 tap in there. That never happens. What about there? Doesn't need much, just a little bit to lead the tap in. One other thing, once you get into the smaller size taps, they have a little point on the end instead of a centre. Bloody mosquitoes. So this one's got a centre drill hole in the back. Got him. That I can sit in there. That way I've still got room to stick my tap wrench on. Like that. Like that. Then I stick that in my chuck. And I know my thread's going to come out nice and square. You don't have to. You can just tap a hole straight out. But if you want your threads to always come out square, that's how you can do it. Some people... You come over the bench, you should be able to put it all together. Basically, see, that's how we've made the part. I just haven't bothered to put all the clearance in here. I don't see it's necessary. There's nothing that goes in there. I think just the original manufacturer was saving aluminium. All I'll need to do is get some longer 5mm screws instead of the little short ones to hold down here, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. This bit goes in there. You turn it around to get adjust the height of the gear. We can lock that grub screw down. This one goes in there with a spring on it. The gear goes on there. A washer, another screw. So now when you use it, This is bolted up underneath the planer. You hold onto the knob, push it forward, and as you turn that knob around, it slides the fence up and down the machine. And when you got it where you want, you let go, and it disengages the gear. That's all there is to it. So there we go. Hello everyone. It's a couple of days later. Carrying on from this project. I've got the rest of the parts that go with it, and this gadget goes up underneath there. 2 nuts go into that little slot, and that's where that slides or fits onto there, and then this unit goes onto there and slides up and down. You can see that slides up and down on there. The problem is, when this thing got broken, this part also got bent. If I get my ruler and stick it on that edge there, you can see how far out it is. It's about 1.5 millimeters. It's supposed to be flat. So what I'm going to try and do now is bend this out from the middle. Someone's had a bit of a go at it here with a Dremel, but not effective. What I'm hoping to do is get a bolt in the middle there with a nut on it. This is a nylock nut, which isn't very useful at the moment. And maybe pack it with a piece of wood or something, or not. 2 spanners, open up the nut and force that out in the middle. I might need to put a G-clamp on each end to stop that from bending, but I think it'll just go from the middle. What I'll need to do is shorten that bolt a bit because it's too long, and I might just take that nylon bit off the end of the nut so that that's not in the way, and it'll make the whole lot a bit thinner.